So Kiren, first off, I want to say, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You did what, one or two deals?
I did two deals.
Two deals. Okay. So first off, I want to say again, just congratulations on your success on those two deals. Um, Before we get into like the talk of how the deals happen and everything else, what I want to know is what were you doing like before real estate?
Before real estate, I was a certified nursing assistant.
Okay.
I did that for about 8 years, and then I moved into. I continued my education, and I went into nursing. I became a licensed practical nurse.
Wow.
So I've been doing that for about 7 years now, working as a nurse for 7 years.
So what made you even think about like getting into real estate?
So, towards the end of my certified nursing assistant career, I was just by chance. I went to go visit a friend, and I was coming home from that trip, and I was at the airport just waiting for my next flight. So I just walked into a store, and I was looking for a book to read because I was a really avid reader back then. I would read like one book in like 3 days. So I was looking for a book to read, and I'm looking through the shelf, and I came across a book that was titled something like 10 Steps to Becoming a Millionaire in Real Estate or something like that. And I was like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. So let me pick this book up. And I read it. I could not put the book down. I read it in like maybe 3 or 4 days. And I was just so excited about all these ways you can make money in real estate. And my husband at the time, I told him, I was like, hey, look at this book. We could make money in real estate. And I started telling all my friends, and they were looking at me like I was crazy. They was like, there's no way you're going to be able to do this. You don't have no money. You're just a regular person like us. Like, like get out of here with this stuff. And it kind of discouraged me. And I put real estate down for a while after that. And I just stayed focused on like my nursing career.
Got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because when you have big dreams and big goals, and you come from, a small area like from you're in Rhode Island, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's sometimes, small cities, small states, at times when you share big dreams, it just doesn't resonate with those people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Small mind thinking.
Yeah,
Everyone around you just thinking on a different scale, and you're like the only one here with this big old idea. It doesn't make sense to everybody. So you connect to their energy, and then it stops you, just like I let it stop me. So.
absolutely. Okay, so but at some point you was like, all right, I don't care what they say. I'm gonna get to, I'm gonna go ahead and figure this stuff out. So how did you even like come across me anyway? How did you find out about me specifically?
Yeah. So after my nursing career, being in nursing after 7 years, I started getting tired. I'm 35, and I'm looking at nurses that's been nursing is a great career. Don't get me wrong, but I'm looking at nurses that's been in the career for like 40 years, and I've only been in it for 7 years, and I'm like, I don't see myself doing this that much longer. I'm tired. My feet hurt. My back hurt. um, you know, and the hours were long, and I'm just like, I can't do this any much longer. So I went back into real estate, but I joined the YouTube university.
Yeah.
So I started going on YouTube and trying to learn about real estate through YouTube. And I was watching a lot of videos, and there's a lot of people on YouTube teaching real estate. And then I came across some of your videos. Um, you were talking about some of the deals that you did, how you did them, how you closed them, and your videos were pretty detailed. So I kept you in the back of my mind as I was in the market looking for a program.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I'll find him again or whatever. And more time went by, and I was on Facebook, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I started seeing your marketing pieces about teaching how to wholesale, but virtually.
Right.
And I was like, virtually, that's perfect for me. I'm a busy mom. I'm single. I'm working. I'm taking care of my mother. I'm such a busy person. It would be perfect if I could learn how to do wholesaling, with my computer and my cell phone at home. So that's what kind of caught my attention. And then I signed up for your webinar, and then it was history from there.
Wow. Wow. That's great. And I want everybody to understand that, you know, a lot of people talk about like, oh, you know, I want to get into the business, but they have like a job and things like that that gets in the way. But again, I want to commend you because you got 3 kids, you have
Yeah.
a job full time, and you didn't let any of that stop you at all. None of that you used as excuses.
No, those were actually my motivations. They weren't excuses. They were the reason why I had no choice but to keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Okay. So let's talk about all right, so you went ahead and you invested in the Virtual Flip Bridges 3.0 course. Were you like a little skeptical at all before joining?
to be honest, yes. Because the funny thing about it is like when I signed up for the webinar, before I signed up for the webinar, I sent you a direct message and I was like, he's not gonna answer my message. He's like busy and everything. And I asked you about the webinar. I said, is it free? And you answered my message. You said, yes, it's free. And I'm like, okay. He answered my message. So that's like point one. I was like, okay, this might be a good thing, a good thing. And then I was trying to figure out if it was going to be like one of those recorded webinars, like most
Most of them.
gurus
Yeah.
do. They do like a pre-recorded webinar and they try to pretend like it's live, and it's like we're not. We're up on the games, guys. Like it's not live. Stop trying to pretend like it's live.
Right, right.
So in my mind, I'm like, if you're trying to bamboozle me now, why would I buy your program? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yours was live. You were actually there. We could like talk to you. We could answer questions and everything. So, and you shared your personal story during the webinar, which is what I connected to, how you started. Okay. So those things made me, purchase the program. So being skeptical about the program, no. You were genuine in the beginning before I bought the program, so I wasn't skeptical about it. And plus, I saw a lot of testimonials, other people's stories of how they were able to successfully close on their deals after going through your program. To be honest, I was skeptical about myself. I was wondering, can I do it? That's where my mindset was at that time.
I think, to be real with you, I think that's a lot of people, because the thing is that's how I felt. When I first got started, 11 years ago, I was like, man, you see these people making money, you hear these testimonials, but you got to think about, am I the person that can do this? Am I going to fall short,
Right.
I have a success. And it's like, you just get to the point where you're like, yo, I got to bet on myself. And if this person is providing me with everything that I need, it's really just on me.
Right. Right.
All right. So let's talk about the actual deals. So one, again, I want everybody to understand you are in Rhode Island. That's not necessarily the best place to start real estate wholesaling.
I found that out the hard way.
But of course, being that, you took the training and it's all about virtual, what market did you end up choosing to go into?
I ended up going into the Detroit market.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And perfect. So you went to Detroit market, and these 2 deals that you worked on that you did close, like give us a little background. Like, how did you find these deals? Were they like text, call, or how did you come across?
So these 2 deals, oh God, it was quite an experience. Well, first of all, the program laid everything out for me, step by step. So the first thing I had to do was do market research to figure out which market I was going to work in, which market was going to give me the best return. So I joined the Facebook group after purchasing your program. And then I joined another group called GroupMe, which are other students that have joined the program. They get together in a group to kind of support each other, if we have questions and everything. So I'm just asking everybody, I'm like, what market should I start? What market should I start in? And Detroit kept coming up. It kept coming up. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me do the research. I did the market research in Detroit. The numbers were looking good. And I was like, okay, I might have a good chance of landing a deal here because the market was looking, pretty busy.
Right.
So, I went in and then I researched a certain zip code, and, I pulled my list on PropStream, like the modules say to do. I found a skip tracer, and I uploaded my list and I sent out a text campaign. That's
Great,
what I did.
great. And I know you
Yeah.
had support from one of our members, Warren, who's from Australia. That
Warren,
was help. Yeah.
my angel. I always call him my angel because he really is such a supportive guy, you know, all the way in Australia,
Yeah.
closing deals.
Yep.
So I'm like, if he can close deals in Australia, I'm in the United States. There's no excuse, you know. So I hooked up with him, and he did literally help me right along the way.
That's great.
But I found my first 2 deals in the Detroit market. I did the texting campaign.
Cool. Okay. And so, how much did you end up making in those deals?
So the first deal I made $5,000,
Okay.
and the second deal I made $4,000.
Nice. Okay. All right. Good size, which is normally about what people make in Detroit. You know, were they?
Yeah,
Do
Detroit
you?
market.
Yeah, the Detroit market, because it's not like, you know, it's not Florida or anything like that. There's people buying, but the margins are typically small. But
Yeah,
that's still good. I mean, $9,000.
amazing. I have 3 kids.
Oh yeah.
$9,000 payday. That's amazing to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how long from start to finish when you actually like got the deal? How long did it take to actually get the checks?
So let me see, I have the dates here. So because I want you guys to know how long it took. So I sent out my first contract for my first deal on August 1st.
Okay.
And I closed on September 17th.
Okay. All right.
For that
So a month
deal.
and a half. Give or take.
Yeah. And then the second deal, I sent out my contract the contract was signed on August 18th, and I closed on September 17th also. So I closed both deals on the same day.
Did you sell to the same buyer or?
Same buyer. Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. Active buyer. Yeah.
So now you're going to continue on and go into the Detroit market and just keep everything going now that you have the momentum. So
yeah. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to, tweak my system a little bit more to make it, smoother. I'm a beginner,
right.
So as I'm moving along, I'm just going to try to make my system more smoother. And, you learn things along the way. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. I had help. I was able to go on the Facebook group and ask questions along the way. Mike helped me a lot. I was able to text him.
Yeah.
And he texted me back. He actually called me. I had a question because I didn't know how to evaluate the true value of the first property that I was looking at, because the Detroit market is a little funny with that. You can have one house that's worth $1,000, and then a street over you have a house that's worth $70,000. So Mike helped me out with that a lot on how to get the true value of that particular property. So, I learned a lot along the way. I made a lot of mistakes, but that didn't stop me. The mistakes were just opportunities to learn. You know what I mean?
That's what I tell people. It's not an L. It's just a learning curve that you just.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Well, that's great. I mean, that's what it. I try to pride myself in our training program is the support. Because like for me, when I bought my first course and I had to borrow it from my daughter's mom, it wasn't no support. It was just DVDs, workbooks, and it was like, yo, figure it out.
Yes, absolutely. This is not the first program that I've invested in. Okay. It's not. So, I've been looking for programs like this, but this one, like you said, the support really is there. Like, you will post something on a Facebook group, you will answer some of my posts, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Other students will answer, your virtual assistants will answer. People answer you when you ask a question. And that's what really kept me motivated, because I knew that if I ran into a situation where I didn't know the answer, I had multiple ways to get that answer from your staff. You know what I mean? So that helped a lot.
Well, I want to also say that, you've been motivating the group as well. Every time posting about things that you were doing and keeping yourself accountable and everything else, like that was motivating a lot of people in the group, to see that you're taking action, that even if you may have a day where things might not have panned out like you wanted, you kept pressing on and you kept, being very transparent. So, that's also been a huge help for everybody in the group.
Yeah, I'm glad. Because I mean, I'm human and I'm figuring there might be other single moms in the group, single dads in the group, or single, whatever, single grandparents, and it's difficult sometimes, everything is dependent on you, but you have this motivation inside of you that I want to change my life, not just for me, for my children, for my mom who retired. I want to be able to change her life. She worked really hard and I want her to enjoy her retirement.
Mm.
So it's like, you have to, you really got to change your mindset. You can't depend on how you're feeling right now. You
Right.
got to kind of just move with the downs. And that's what I did a lot of my days. Like a lot of days I woke up, I wasn't motivated. I
Yeah.
was like, she still didn't sign this contract. I sent the contract to her. What does she want? And I was just so nervous about that first deal. Because I sent my contract out and she had questions about the contract. And you got to remember, these are people too. They're not just, this is a big deal for them to sell their house also. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to connect to that energy also. On my end, I'm like, sign the contract. I need to
Right.
make this
Right.
money. But I had to learn to change that mindset also. They have questions. They don't sell houses every day. They
Exactly.
have questions. It's a new process for them. It's a new process for you. They don't know that, but it's a new process for you too.
Right.
So, I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about energy. I learned a lot about myself going through this.
Mm.
And it was a great investment and a great experience.
Well, the good thing about it is that, like you said, I'm glad you just mentioned that. The thing is that, one, you did it virtually. So it's not like you're meeting the person and shaking their hand or whatever. Like you did everything over the phone or the computer. So having that right mindset, that good energy is what will, transfer over to that homeowner to make them feel confident and comfortable with signing that contract.
Right. She said, you calling me about my house? I don't know you from a hole in the wall. And I was like, you know what? She's right. She doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. So I kind of backed off of what's the condition of your house and how much you want to sell for? And
Yeah.
she started talking about her daughter. So I connected to that.
Mm.
She started talking about what it was like living in that city. So I connected to that. And her guards came down,
Yeah.
and we actually became good friends. She calls me her second granddaughter now.
Wow.
So, you
Wow.
know, you're talking to people is not just a sale. At the end of the day, you're talking to people.
Absolutely. All right. So last question. Anybody that's watching this, whether they're watching it Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, would you recommend someone investing in the training?
Absolutely. Like, guys, I don't know who's watching this. Like, if you are, this is a perfect program for people who want to see a change in their lives, right? You want to see a change in your life. You want to be able to tap into something that is going to allow you to take you from one level to the next level. You want to help your mom. You want to help your children. You want to donate to charity, whatever it is that you want to do. I would definitely say take the time and invest in this program, because it just closing those two deals open up a lot of doors for me, not only financially, but mentally. I feel like I can do I really can do anything. You know that saying when they say, if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Mhm.
That really is the truth. If you put your mind to something and you break it down into steps and you commit yourself to those steps, whether it gets hard, whether you feel like you don't have time. And that's another thing. Don't lie to yourself. We have time. Pay
Yeah, you make time for
attention
what's
to
important.
what you're spending your time on. Okay. Like that's what I had to do. I had to pay attention to what I was spending my time on, because I have kids and I'm working, but I had moments where I was on Instagram and I could have been going through my campaign list. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the time. So definitely, I would say invest in the program. You're going to have the support when you do it. You're not going to be left alone with books and CDs and trying to figure it out. You have fellow wholesalers that are in there with you. They're new to the game too. And you also have experienced people that are mixed into that group that were able to answer your questions.
Right.
Chris Bruce is here to answer your questions. Mike was there to answer my questions. I had so much support, it was ridiculous. So I would say definitely invest. Definitely invest into the program. It's definitely a come up.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I appreciate you again, Kiren, all the things that you share with the group. I cannot wait to see the success that you're going to continually having in Detroit market. And I'm pretty sure that we'll be doing interviews on the 10, 15, 20th deal that you're going to have.